Hi everybody. So, now I am once again unblocked. I was blocked because I didn't have tape, which is a ridiculous thing to be blocked on. And now I do. So, tape's in hand, we have our tank sealant, so it's time to mix the blackness. So it's a two-part mix, and the little bottle is pretty handy. You just shove a plunger down the internal plunger that also has all of the black constituent to your tank sealant. It's a two-part rubber. And once you mix it around, then you put a tip on it, which doesn't really work. It's a very small tip. You need to put a lot of pressure. And you can see here I'm using a piece of aluminum and jamming it into my side, trying to get this stuff out. So this is my first time working with it, and wasn't that bad. I just used, so it's for the foam ribs, and you can see it kind of coating the foam ribs there. So you just coat the ribs, you put them in place, skins on top, rivet it in place, and put a weighted board on it so that there's definite contact. But let me tell you, those skins are tight, and there was definite contact in the ribs. So working with the tank sealants, it's not bad. Like I said, I just spread it around with another foam rib, and it seemed to spread very easily. I did a little experimentation, and the very best thing that I found were stiff 1-inch foam paintbrushes. Spreads that stuff around real easy, and then I can just throw it away along with the gloves that I had on. So now that the trim tabs foam ribs are installed, we go ahead and we rivet up the rest of the trim tab. And there I pose. So right before I put the rest of the foam ribs in, the last thing I had to do was seal up the very last rivets in the elevator, which were on the rear spar towards the edge, where I'd mentioned before that you have to leave open so that you can peel the skin back, revealing some internal rivets that you have to finish before you can seal the skin in. So skin is sealed, and there I am mixing up the putting the sealant on the ribs and installing. And here I am doing those final ribs on the right rudder. I basically had to cut about half that tip off before I could get the sealant flowing in any kind of volume that was useful and wouldn't take 3 days. One thing I wish that little kit came with was some kind of, I don't know, threaded insert, like almost like a syringe plunger. Anyway, time was of the essence on this. Once that stuff is mixed, you only have a certain amount of time before it starts to cure to the point where basically it'll just harden up too much to be usable. So I actually took 2 pieces of angle aluminum and I've put some of the extra sealant between them and clecoed them together. No riveting, just 2 pieces of aluminum and sealant, and it's after a few days, those 2 pieces of aluminum are never coming apart. So anyway, I finish up. I don't actually rivet the trailing edges yet. That'll be next. Just leave this here to cure for a few days with a weight. So put those away and see you soon.